My name is Mahesh. I am from IT background. So I have some land actually. I would like to construct this eco-friendly house actually, this. So I would like to construct this in the 150 square yards, and maybe it is I don't know whether we can go for the duplex or G+1 kind of thing. That's also my question. And one more thing is that you constructed this house using the local materials. And that material selection, right? How you do based on our area where we construct. So and the availability of artisans, whether you supply those artisans to construct the house. So how much does it cost actually? So maybe per SFT. So these are the questions I have.
Before I try to answer this question, so if you understand the basic fundamentals, I think you yourself can answer these questions. So first part is, when we say eco-construction, there are two words, eco and construction. So what does this mean? The word means. So word means that you construct for your need, which is in harmony with everything, which is nature and as well as human beings. If we elaborate more, what does harmony means with nature and all? If you really see, one of the biggest contributors of the pollution is transportation. And transportation in construction industry is all the more. I think 22% or so, because the volume you need to transport is very high. Second, if you really see, the mining activity which is happening is causing another disharmony with the nature. The more you do the mining, you are trying to change the earth's behavior and pattern. It doesn't mean we should not do that, but it is what it means is we need to use those things judiciously. For example, cement also or steel also, these are beautiful technologies, beautiful materials, but we need to use it judiciously. It's not that, okay, I mean, anti this particular thing, anti cement, anti steel or anything. There is a need, like for example, this structure has a beam is there is a need wherever need is there. You can use it judiciously, that's pretty much you can do it. So that's the first part of the material part. Second part, when we say eco-construction, is the people who are working. Are they in harmony? Are they feeling good about it while building the house? If you really see, today the people who are the construction workers, they are in a pathetic condition. Like they feel they are exploited like anything. So that's another part of the thing. The nurturing of the human being is also not happening while building the house. When the house gets built, and the people whose house is getting built, his hairs, whatever are remaining, get reduced by at least 20% down while building the house. It's a very pathetic experience to build a house from a owner perspective, because you cannot trust anybody, whether these people will do the right job or not, whether they will work or not, when we built the first house, 3 team ran away here when I was building my own house here. So that's the situation. Everybody feels exploited, whether it is nature or human beings. So how can we build a house which is like harmony with each other? Like the bird building a nest. It's a beautiful experience. It doesn't happen with human house. It's like a most exhaustive experience. Now, given all that context, the first question to answer is, if you use local material, you save the earth cost. There is a financial cost as well as the earth cost. If you use as local material, what are you saving? First, you are saving the biggest transportation cost. If you really ask me, cost of this versus a normal construction, the financial cost is almost same. Why it is same? Because here we are increasing the artisan cost, but reducing the material cost. Their material cost is very high, artisan cost is low. If we reduce the material, reduce the artisan cost, it's not eco, because you're exploiting the human beings. So artisan cost is higher. Material, we are trying to reduce material as much as possible. The beautiful way Professor Yoganand gave the answer, if somebody asks me how many floors you can go up, his answer is how many you want. Okay, you can see, go to Bangalore, there are houses which are 30 years old, n number of floors are there, 5 floors, 6 floors. It depends on your thing. If you really see these bricks, the material which is used is in this bricks I'm talking about, because it depends on the clay proportion and all. That's the reason the amazing thing which Gram Vidya did, Mahija and Gram Vidya, there are 4 different organizations they did. They created a consulting firm which provides a consulting, structural consulting and everything. Second, they have a laboratory which tests the soil. Based on that, the proportions comes. Based on the soil, what kind of foundation has to happen, it comes in. Third, they have a company which does the training the artisans. They go to to the place where the house is happening, construction is happening, and train the artisans. Fourth company they have is the building the machines. Machines in the sense the compressed mud block machine. So they have all four, and they're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, you will not see them in the limelight anywhere, but they are like rooted in the ground, most humble people, and phenomenal work they are doing. So your question of supplying the artisans, okay, I'll come to that next. The cost wise, if you use, in this case, it is 50% soil, 30 to 35% stone dust, and then 10% is stabilizer. In this case, we use cement. This is like 5 years back. Now we don't use cement in this thing. We use lime and as well as the GGBS. GGBS is a waste product of the steel plant, ground granulated blast furnace slag. So that's how this thing is. So next question is, a lot of people, I don't know whether you have this question, how much per square feet it will cost? Preempting this question. So it depends on your design, on the choices you are making. Because house depends on you can have a flooring which is 50 rupees per square feet, you can go to flooring which is 400 rupees square feet. You can have 4 toilets in the room, in the house, you can have 2 toilets in the house. In those toilets, what kind of accessories you are using? So you can make it, your thing can range from anywhere. You can have it in 1500 or 1200 to that upper limit is no upper limit. Okay, you can go in there. But what can happen is, if you are really sure about your need, you can build a house in any which budget you have. The other question is about artisans. If there are people whom you know, okay, Gram Vidya has a phenomenal commitment, and they can train people, and people can get trained here as well. And the whole idea is that there are more and more people do this kind of initiative. So we are trying to see, there are people in Pune who wanted to do this. They came here, they learned, and they are now starting their own team with the team, and they started their own construction. So I don't think team is going to be an issue. Just simple, some effort has to be there, finding out good set of people and then there, or probably wait for the eco construction queue to get probably you need to wait. Because one thing we feel is, like, if you're taking up a project, you finish off, you put all energies in those projects and finish out at the time. Like, that's the best thing. Instead, the projects keep on lingering for years together.
So why that much of time for the design?
So design is 7 designs have to come together. Your layout design, house layout design, plot layout design, your structural design, electrical design, plumbing design, roof design, wind design, all that has to come so that you do optimize things.
And one more question is, you said in the lab you tested the soil, right? So that whatever our land soil, right, you will send that soil to the soil.
So we will see. So by looking at the soil, we'll get some idea. If that soil is suitable, we'll use that soil. Otherwise, in the nearby 10-15 kilometer range, we'll find out the soil. Like, we have not used in this building, not use the soil over here. It's a black soil. Although black soil can also be used, but you need to treat, you need to do a lot of things. Nearby there was a lateritic soil was available, so we used that.
I was thinking to construct a eco-based construction in a colony where probably there won't be any eco-constructions. I can't say that, but that's a new colony. Probably in a year's time it will start constructing. Is that can be stand out in the colony?
The first part of the question is, how do we know we are making a right decision? I think that's the first part of your question. I mean, I'm giving my definition based on my understanding or my reading or my study. Okay. For you to know you're doing right means you are nurturing everything. Either you're nurturing or you're exploiting. When I say nurturing means you are connected with everything around you. So if at any point in time you need to see the colony you are going to live in, is it nurturing every part? Okay, from your perspective, then you are doing the right thing. Now coming back to your thing, there are so many technologies out there. Whatever you are doing, need to look at things end to end. Don't try to do piecemeal. So the person who is designing your house has to look at the things in a holistic way, in all different dimensions. So there are so many technologies out there, but the people who are, which is like the architect or the structural engineer and all, they have to understand. And he cannot just design it on paper. He has to have material knowledge only. If that is there, then you can build it with eco-construction as well.
Can I bring more people? Can I bring the entire colony?
So this question, it keeps on coming. if I twist the question a little bit, if I build, others will also build, and it can become a movement kind of thing. If it is a value, it will anyway propagate. So it's a good thing if you are building in the colony and you are the first one. There are people who are going to come anyways. What is happening? So from that perspective, but I mean, it might be possible they might not be having that much amount of conviction, but the information reaches out to them. Probably they're not doing it today. Someday it will propagate. I think we should do the right things, and I think it's a very good idea if in a place where the colony is getting started fresh in fact the same thing, there is a IIT professor Sairam's house which is getting built. His house is first in a colony which is near to IIT. He's also thinking of the same lines if it happens.
Why should we go to eco-friendly house rather than going
The traditional house.
normal house? Because when you say both cost same, so what are the advantages we have in ecosystem?
Thank you for asking this question. The answer lies is, I don't think you have a choice. If you care about your children, you don't have a choice. I'm giving an honest answer to you. This thing is not about whether we should go or not. We are at the cusp where we are not borderline now with respect to Earth. We are almost on the edge. If you really see what we have done to Earth. If you want to see your children live like you're living, and oxygen cylinders are not sold just like your water bottle, you don't have a choice rather than to go to eco-construction. One thing is how much you will keep on digging, how much you keep on burning the coal. There is a limit to it. Those resources are limited. You are seeing the weather pattern right now. You are seeing the whole global warming is there. That is with the nature. The human relationship you are seeing. Previously, the definition of joint family, 20 years back, 10 people joint family. It became 6. It became 4. Now, husband wife living in one room is also that's how the relationship are broken. So apparently it's about financial cost, it's about earth cost, it's about relationship cost. Everything has to be taken. Somewhere our attention has gone into the financial cost. It needs an attention, but the right attention. The other things also needs the same amount of attention, if not more. So I think if anybody who is sensible enough right now and want to see their children inhaling oxygen like we are inhaling, you don't have a choice.
సార్ యాక్చువల్లీ అంటే 150 స్క్వేర్ యార్డ్స్లో మన హౌస్ బిల్డ్ చేసినప్పుడు అంటే మనకి డ్యూరేషన్ ఎంత పడుతుంది, అంటే 2 bedrooms 1 hall అండ్ కిచెన్, మనకి డ్యూరేషన్ ఎంత పడుతుంది, స్లాబ్ ఏ టైప్లో ఉంటుంది అని మై క్వశ్చన్.
I keep on repeating, the cost depends on your choices. So duration, the life cycle of a project. Life cycle of project starts with the design phase. Design and material freezing space part. That particular thing, actually it takes around 2 months of time. Then execution starts. Execution, once it starts, like roughly it should take 3 to 4 months. For I'm thinking 1200 to max 6 months execution will take, not more than that. It's the timing is not any different from because it's in some cases it can be faster as well. Okay, it depends on, again I keep on repeating, it's the kind of choices you are making. You can have a mud concrete house without any plaster, without any thing. I mean, a lot of things you can have, like see, most of the time spent in the house is the minor works, which is the flooring and all that kind of thing. How much you want in that, like how much detailing you want. Like you can have simple flooring, you can have like patterns, like all that kind of things take time. The timing thing, at the end of the design cycle, all your 7 designs get completed. Before execution starts, we want to close all the 7 designs, which includes your plumbing, electrical, wind, and all the designs gets completed. We get a fair amount of idea how much time it is going to take. Without design, I can give you a rough thing, roughly if you're asking me 1200 square feet, around 6 months it should take. No, rain doesn't, it's raining, nothing happens actually. If there is a crack or something is there, you might need to fill that particular thing. But
because of these bricks only, we don't get cracks and all.
no, bricks is like a stone. We can.
That is why we didn't get any cracks and all.
This bricks are mud and mud, dust and cement is there, and it is compressed. So it's a compressed mud block.
If temperature is outside too hot, inside is same.
So it depends on your thickness of your wall. Again, Temperature is another big subject. Okay, temperature depends on so many factors. How many glass windows are there? You might, wall is there, but glass is just from there, directly heat is coming. You can design a building which has a thermal comfort as well, which doesn't need an AC. That is perfectly possible. And it is being done as well. It's not that, okay, it's just a theoretical thing, it's done.
This cement slab on this.
So this is a filler slab. It's a normal slab. We reduce the steel into it, steel and concrete into it. You see, these are bricks. What you are seeing, these are bricks only. Yeah, this thing. It is to reduce the concrete. We use the bricks. Because of this, steel also get reduced. So it reduces the concrete, by 30% or so.
For SFT, these all questions go on until August or September in that training.
See, that's what I'm saying. The cost is I completely understand the reason people, every person who's calling me, the first question they ask is, how much the cost? What I'm trying to say is that define your need, very clearly what you need, and see how much you have. If you are very clear about it, you can have your house built. Even in normal construction, forget about eco-construction. In normal construction, depend on the range, it will change, the cost will change. That's the reason the cost part, if you are very clear that this is my budget and this is my need, you will be able to build it. One thing we are very, very clear, at least what we feel about is, the house should be such that it doesn't require maintenance. It has to have a longevity, because when you're building a house, you're spending a lot of energy and you're okay to spend money. But later on, finding people to do the maintenance, and whenever the roof is leaking, you have a beautiful, beautiful stuff in the house, that whole experience will get. So don't compromise on structural stability. Okay, if you want to reduce the cost in flooring, reduce the cost in some of the toilets, accessories and all. That can be done. The cost of eco-construction is more or less, the cost will be same as that of a normal construction. The thing which is happening is, you are reducing the earth cost, you are reducing the material cost. At the same time, I'm talking about our enterprise. Artisan cost you're increasing. If you know your pocket very clearly, you can build a house. It's perfectly possible. There are people who are farmers who are reaching out to me. Okay, next workshop, we are trying to focus on farmers. Can you create a simple farming structure which are stable enough, low cost? You work, you're a farmer, you make it your own house with the mud which is there in your farm. It's possible.
If I want to build a house and I have a land and we show it, we take it to you like an architect. You come, read, study, design, guide. Do you offer any such services for that?
The short answer is yes. There is an enterprise, social enterprise for eco-construction. The way the enterprise works is in a slightly different way. The people who come, so you will not find any website. We don't have a website. We don't have a WhatsApp group. We don't have a Facebook thing. No marketing, nothing. People who are coming to us to build a house are coming through the trust capital. Like, it's a word of mouth. So what it works out is that there is no per square feet rate or anything of that sort. Everything, what we feel is, for trust to build, transparency has to be there. So what we have done is, we made everything transparent. So in the enterprise, right from a helper to a head mason to us, everybody knows everything with respect to the salaries. And in a group setting, we decide how much everybody should get paid. Second, client knows everything detail, the person whose house. You directly pay for the artisan cost, you directly pay for the material cost, or you get the material your own. On top of it, you pay 10% to the enterprise of the overall cost. 10% out of that, 30% again goes back to all the artisans. The rest part goes to the capex and all the other things. 10% goes to the environment, in the sense like other such initiatives and all. And what happens is, every data is live, in the sense that every expense which is happening 1 rupee, it is live. So that when it becomes live, like a cement bag came, and it is 220 rupees cement bag came, and it is known immediately, it brings anybody can go and verify as well. All the people don't go, but it is a verifiable thing. So that's how the enterprise work, right from design to the execution.
So end-to-end is a turnkey.
End-to-end. So what this enterprise is trying to solve, one part is a technology part, skill part, but at the same time, how can there be trust amongst all of us? It is a queue model. So there will be 4 projects we have 4 projects, we keep 4 projects in execution, 2 in design. Otherwise, people are in queue. And the whole idea, the other part of the enterprise is also tester training also. So that other people like this enterprise, we want more such enterprises to get formed. So we train people. Other question which I think I missed in the previous one is that how the longevity of this particular structure, how stable is this structure, how many years it will happen, okay? So like any other structure, this structure also needs maintenance. Like your cement house, maintenance when I say is that, okay, if the water is getting choked on the roof, you need to probably do it. If there is something happens, wear and tear, you kind of need to repair. But the life of this particular thing is, in some cases, might be more than the cement house, if we are using lime and GGBs properly, because lime is like, as the time progresses, it gets better and better. You can see the lime buildings which are like 400 years old, like Bidar Fort is there, so for example. So all that, those while lime is being used. But the issue here is right now is, we have lost that art. In case of cement thing, the concrete house, you don't need artisans are unskilled artisan can also work there. You don't need to have the wall which is in straight line, because you build wall, whatever it is, you can plaster, putty and color it. All your ugliness or all your mistakes can get hidden there. In here, the biggest problem is the art is lost. The artisans are lost. Artisans are lost because we stopped giving them work and valuing it. So it's a chicken and egg problem. I mean, this is skilled work. To make the brick, you should see, it's a very, very beautiful teamwork. Every day they produce 500 bricks. It's an amazing piece of thing. That's an art. You need to lay these bricks in straight line, because think of it, the force is coming from there. If it is the wall is bent, it will crumble or the cracks will start happening. Even some of these structures right now are built even earthquake resistant. So all the designs which comes in structural design are taking care of which seismic zone you are and all, even the foundations and all. I believe, more importantly, I'm not the expert in this particular thing. Okay, I'm repeating some of the words which I heard and my experience of 6 years, 7 years into it. One of the workshops which is there, Professor Yoganand, Sudhakar sir and Pramod sir, they do it beautifully. They explain in great detail these concepts. You can attend these workshops. Lot of these questions, lot of myths will get answered.
ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇల్లు నిర్మించుకోవాలనుకునే వారికి గైడ్ చేసే విధంగా అనహద టీమ్ ఇటీవల ఎకో కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ సీకర్స్ పేరుతో ఒక వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేసింది. ఇందులో చేరిన సభ్యులు ఇటీవల అనహద సందర్శించారు. ఎకో ఇల్లు ఎలా నిర్మించుకోవాలి, మెటీరియల్ ఎక్కడ తెచ్చుకోవాలి, ధర ఎంత అవుతుంది వంటి ప్రశ్నలు అడిగారు. ఇలా సందర్శకుల సందేహాల ప్రశ్నలకి అనహద కో ఫౌండర్ షబ్బర్ గారు సమాధానాలు ఇచ్చారు. ముందుగా మహేష్ అనే ఒక ఐటీ ఎంప్లాయీ తను 150 గజాల్లో ఒక ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇల్లు కట్టించుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నాను, ఖర్చు ఎంత అవుతుంది, G+1 కూడా కట్టించుకోవచ్చా వంటి సందేహాలను అడిగారు. అలాగే మీరు ప్రాజెక్ట్ టేకప్ చేసి కట్టిస్తారా అని ప్రశ్నించారు. దీనికి షబ్బర్ గారు సమాధానం ఇస్తూ, మనం కట్టే ఇల్లు పర్యావరణం, మనుషులకి హాని కలగకుండా చూసుకోవడమే ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ నిర్మాణం. కొంచెం రోజుగా పరిశీలిస్తే కాలుష్యానికి కారణమవుతున్న రంగాల్లో రవాణా ఒకటి. ముఖ్యంగా నిర్మాణ రంగంలో 20% కాలుష్య వాటా రవాణాదే. ఇల్లు కట్టించుకోవడానికి కావాల్సిన మెటీరియల్ అన్ని ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచో సేకరించాలి కాబట్టి రవాణా భారం ఎక్కువ. రెండోది, నిర్మాణ సామాగ్రిలో ఉపయోగించే స్టీలు, సిమెంట్ వంటివి గనుల నుంచి వస్తాయి. వీటి కోసం గనుల్ని విపరీతంగా తవ్వేస్తున్నాం. గనులు తవ్వే కొద్దీ ప్రకృతిలో సమతౌల్యం దెబ్బతింటుంది. అలా అని సిమెంట్, స్టీల్ వాడవద్దని కాదు, అవి లేకుండా నేడు నిర్మాణ రంగం లేదు. అయితే ప్రకృతి ప్రసాదిత వనరుల్ని న్యాయబద్ధంగా, హేతుబద్ధంగా వాడడం మేలు. అలాగే నిర్మాణంలో పాలు పంచుకునే కళాకారులు, పనివారు దోపిడీకి గురవుతున్నారు. వారు దుర్భర పరిస్థితిలో జీవనం సాగిస్తున్నారు. మీరు మీ ఇంటి నిర్మాణంలో స్థానిక వనరులను ఉపయోగిస్తే ప్రకృతి మీద ఒత్తిడి కొంత తగ్గించిన వారు అవుతారు. ఎప్పుడైతే రవాణా తగ్గుతుందో ఇంధన వినియోగం తగ్గుతుంది. ఇక ఖర్చు విషయానికి వస్తే సాధారణ భవన నిర్మాణం, ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ భవన నిర్మాణం ఖర్చు దాదాపుగా ఒకటే. ఎకో పద్ధతిలో మెటీరియల్ ఖర్చు తగ్గించి కళాకారులకు ఇచ్చే వేతనం పెంచుతాము. ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇల్లు కట్టాలనుకునే వారికి గ్రామ విద్య, మహిజ అనే 4 సంస్థలు సహకారం అందిస్తున్నాయి. వారు ప్లానింగ్ నుంచి నిర్మాణం వరకు అనేక రకాల శిక్షణ సేవలు అందిస్తారు. కాబట్టి ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ హౌస్ నిర్మించుకోవడానికి అనహద బృందంతో పాటు ఇతర సంస్థలు కూడా మీకు సహాయ సహకారాలు తప్పనిసరిగా అందిస్తాయి. హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి వచ్చిన లూసీ అనే మహిళ తాము 150 చదరపు గజాల్లో డబుల్ బెడ్రూమ్, ఒక హాలు, కిచెన్ నిర్మించుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నాం. దానికి ఎంత కాలం పడుతుంది, ఎంత ఖర్చు అవుతుంది, గదిలో వేడి తగ్గించాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి అని అడిగారు. ఈ ప్రశ్నలకి షబ్బర్ గారు స్పందిస్తూ, ఖర్చు అనేది మీరు ఎంచుకునే నిర్మాణ శైలి మీద ఆధారపడి ఉంటుందని, కట్టే సమయం వచ్చేసరికి డిజైనింగ్, మెటీరియల్ సేకరణ కోసం 2 నెలలు, అక్కడ నుంచి మరో 4 నెలలు కట్టడానికి సమయం పడుతుంది అన్నారు. మొత్తంగా 6 నెలల్లో మనం ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇల్లు పూర్తి చేయవచ్చు అని చెప్పారు. చాలా సందర్భాల్లో మామూలు భవనాల కంటే తక్కువ సమయంలోనే ఎకో ఇల్లు పూర్తి చేయవచ్చని చెప్పారు. ఎకో నిర్మాణంలో ఫ్లోరింగ్ వంటి మైనర్ పనులకి ఎక్కువ సమయం పడుతుందని, గదిలో ఉష్ణోగ్రత తక్కువ ఎక్కువ అనేది గోడలు, సీలింగ్ సాంద్రతను బట్టి, వాటి వ్యాసార్థాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటాయన్నారు. అయితే ఏసీ అవసరం లేకుండా ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇంటిని చాలా సులభంగా నిర్మించుకోవచ్చని తెలిపారు. లూసీ గారి భర్త రవికుమార్ గారు ఒక ఆసక్తికరమైన ప్రశ్న అడిగారు. ఖర్చు ఒకటే అయినప్పుడు మనం ఎందుకు ఎకో ఇళ్ల నిర్మాణానికి వెళ్ళాలని అడిగారు. ఈ ప్రశ్నకి షబ్బర్ గారు స్పందిస్తూ, ప్రస్తుత భూతాప ప్రభావ కాలంలో మనకి ఇంతకు మించిన ఆప్షన్ లేదన్నారు. మీకు మీ బిడ్డల మీద ప్రేమ ఉంటే వాళ్ళు వాటర్ బాటిల్స్ మాదిరిగా ఆక్సిజన్ బాటిల్ని వెంట మోసుకెళ్లకుండా ఉండాలంటే, మనలాగే మంచి గాలి పీల్చాలనుకుంటే ఎకో ఇళ్లకు మించిన ప్రత్యామ్నాయం లేదన్నారు. ప్రకృతి పర్యావరణ విధ్వంసం పరంగా మనం చివరి అంచున ఉన్నాం. మున్ముందు ఇంతకన్నా ప్రకృతి పర్యావరణం ధ్వంసం కాకుండా ఉండాలంటే ఎకో ఇల్లు నిర్మించుకోవడం ఉత్తమం అని చెప్పారు. కాబట్టి అందరూ ఆనందంగా ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండాలంటే ఎకో ఇళ్లకు పోక తప్పదని షబ్బర్ గారు తెలిపారు. మరో సందర్శకులు వీరాస్వామి గారు తాము కొత్తగా మొదలవుతున్న ఒక కాలనీలో ఎకో ఇల్లు నిర్మించుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నట్లు, గాలి వెలుతురు బాగా వచ్చేలా నిర్మించుకోవడానికి మీరు సహకారం అందిస్తారా, ఇది సాధ్యమేనా అని అడిగారు. వారికి షబ్బర్ గారు బదులిస్తూ, మీ ఇంటిని డిజైన్ చేసే ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ లేదా ఇంజనీర్ ప్రకృతి వనరులు, మానవ నష్టం వంటి అంశాలను పరిగణనలోకి తీసుకొని డిజైన్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. ఇలా కొత్తగా నిర్మించే కాలనీలో ఎకో ఇల్లు కడితే చుట్టుపక్కల వారు వచ్చి చూస్తారని, ఏదో ఒక రోజు తాము కూడా స్ఫూర్తి పొంది ఇలాంటి నిర్మాణం కోసం ముందుకు వస్తారని షబ్బర్ గారు తెలిపారు. చివరికి అనిల్ అనే మరో వ్యక్తి తమ పొలంలో ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇల్లు నిర్మించుకోవాలనుకుంటే ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ కన్సల్టేషన్ సేవలు మీరు అందిస్తారని అడిగారు. షబ్బర్ గారు బదిలిస్తూ, మాకు అనహద్ ఎకో కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ అనే సోషల్ ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్ సంస్థ ఉంది. ఇది పూర్తిగా నమ్మకం మీద నడిచే సంస్థని, పూర్తి పారదర్శకంగా పనిచేస్తుందని చెప్పారు. ఒకసారి క్లయింట్ తోటి ఒప్పందం అయ్యాక కళాకారులకి క్లయింటే నేరుగా జీతాలు చెల్లించవచ్చని, లేదా మెటీరియల్ కొనుగోలు చేయవచ్చని, లేదంటే మేము ఖరీదు చేసిన మెటీరియల్ ధరని ఎప్పుడైనా చెక్ చేయవచ్చని చెప్పారు. నిర్మాణానికి సంబంధించిన ప్రతి సమాచారం ఓపెన్గా లైవ్లో ఉంచుతామని, ఎవరైనా ఈ వివరాలు పరిశీలించవచ్చని షబ్బర్ గారు తెలియజేశారు. మొత్తం ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఖర్చు మీద 10% సర్వీస్ ఛార్జీగా తీసుకుంటామని, ఇందులో 30% తిరిగి కళాకారులు చెల్లిస్తామన్నారు. మాకు మొత్తం 80 మంది కళాకారులు ఉన్నారని, 4 ప్రాజెక్టులు ఎప్పుడు నడుస్తూ ఉంటాయని, 2 డిజైనింగ్ దశలో ఉంటాయని షబ్బర్ చెప్పారు. మాకున్న వనరులను బట్టి ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ సేవలు అందించగలుగుతున్నామని, కాకపోతే ముందు వచ్చిన వారికి ముందు అన్న పద్ధతిలో సేవలు అందిస్తామని చెప్పారు. మరో మిత్రుడు అడిగిన ప్రశ్నకి సమాధానిస్తూ, సిమెంట్ నిర్మాణాల జీవితకాలం 60 సంవత్సరాలు అయితే ఎకో ఇళ్ల కాలం ఇంకా ఎక్కువ అని చెప్పారు. మన పెద్దలు సున్నం, బెల్లంతో నిర్మించిన ఇళ్ళు ఇప్పటికీ గట్టిగానే ఉన్నాయని, ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇళ్ళు కూడా ఇంతే గట్టిదనంతో ఎక్కువ కాలం మనగలుగుతాయని షబ్బర్ తెలియజేశారు. అయితే ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇళ్ల నిర్మాణం మొదలుపెట్టినప్పుడు మేము పరిమితంగా సిమెంట్ వాడామని, ఇప్పుడైతే సిమెంట్ అసలు వాడటం లేదని, సిమెంట్ బదులు సున్నం, జీజీబీఎస్ వాడుతున్నట్లు చెప్పారు. అలాగే షబ్బర్ గారు కళాకారుల నైపుణ్యం గురించి కొంచెం లోతైన వివరణ ఇచ్చారు. అదేమంటే, మామూలు ఇల్లు నిర్మించడానికి పెద్దగా నైపుణ్యం అక్కర్లేదు, కానీ ఎకో ఇల్లు నిర్మించాలంటే అనుభవం, నైపుణ్యత చాలా అవసరం. కాలక్రమంలో మనం నైపుణ్యులైన కళాకారులను కోల్పోయాం. ప్రస్తుతం నైపుణ్య కళాకారులకి చాలా కొరత ఉంది. ఈ కొరతను తీర్చడానికి మేము శిక్షణ ప్రారంభించాం. ఎవరైనా మేము సొంతంగా ఎకో ఇంటిని నిర్మించుకుంటాం, అందుకు కావాల్సిన పని వాళ్ళను మేమే తెచ్చుకుంటామని ముందుకొస్తే అలాంటి వాళ్ళకు మేము తప్పకుండా సహకారం అందిస్తాం. వాళ్ళకు కావాల్సిన శిక్షణ ఇచ్చి వారే స్వయంగా ఎకో ఇల్లు నిర్మించుకునే విధంగా మేము తర్ఫీదిస్తాం. మాతో పాటు మహిజ గ్రామ విద్య సంస్థలు కూడా అవసరమైనటువంటి శిక్షణ, డిజైనింగ్ సేవలు అందిస్తుంది. మరింత మంది ఎకో ఫ్రెండ్లీ ఇళ్ళ నిర్మాణం చేసుకునే విధంగా ఆగస్టులో ఒక వర్క్షాప్ కూడా నిర్వహించాలని మేము యోచన చేస్తున్నాం. ఈ వివరాలు త్వరలోనే వెల్లడిస్తామని షబ్బర్ గారు తెలియజేశారు.